the whole theme is communities of hope through disruptive grace. So I just
Absolutely.
want to ask you quickly, what does a community of hope look like to you?
A community of hope for me is one that looks to our Lord as it's at the heart of it, because salvation belongs to him and he is our hope. But it's also a community that is working collaboratively in a connected way for each other. It's almost like, I suppose Martin Luther would say, a community of hope is the beloved community.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the beloved community, because it's not a community that's in stasis. It's a community that is connected, but is always looking for how it can build into the sense of what it is and who are involved, that they are all welcome, that they're all at the table. You know, your bread making and bringing it all in. A community of hope is one that brings people in with welcome and inclusion, but is constantly looking for who's not there, because it wants to be reaching out as well as forming itself as a community. It's recognizing that it's only as good as the people that it hasn't reached yet. And the hope is that it's reaching out to connect others. And in all the ways that we think of justice, God's righteousness and God's justice, that the heart of who we are will be one that expresses the justice for all. So that's what I would hope, that we would have eyes and ears open to the needs of those within the community, and whatever those needs are, that we are working to meet them, maximize the opportunities for all that are part of the community, but recognize only as good as those that we've yet to connect to and to serve.
It's interesting. We had the Archbishop of York here in our province for our provincial synod, and he kept saying, for some reason, this seems to be God's plan. The Spirit arrives in a place, and then for whatever reason, a group of people are gathered together who start to speak and act and preach and pray in such a way as saying, what you see is not all there is more, there are better ways of living, we can draw more people in, people can enjoy a level of dignity and peace and joy that this will be disruptive to the systems and the communities around us.
Well, it absolutely will be, because even as I speak from the Church of England with some of the big issues that we're grappling with at the moment, some of the three big areas that we've been really working on is, how do we properly include women into the three-part leadership of our church? How do we do that? And we've been working on that. How do we include people of other sexualities than heteronormal or typical, or whatever phrase that we might use? How do we do that, and how do we do that well? How do we include people from all diverse communities, ethnic communities, racialized communities? How do we do that and do it well? Those are three big areas that we've been grappling with to make sure and ensure that we are trying to bring people in from those diverse communities, women who are leading into the change for the church as bishops, and also people from our LGBTQI communities to be recognized and feel fully included and fully welcome. They're not easy things to have dealt with, but we are working on them. It has been disruptive, it is disrupting, but it's only by going into the storm almost that we can come through it. And that's where I think we all find ourselves, because if we're not finding ourselves at some stormy point in our endeavor to serve Jesus, I think we're on that boat watching Jesus sleep. But actually, what is happening is the storm is brewing. And then Jesus will stand and say, have you no faith?
A really good friend of mine, Bishop Todd Townsend from the Diocese of Huron, he used the image. He said in the Gospel of Mark, he said, you know, wherever Jesus goes, just imagine a hurricane in reverse, where all you see is wreckage, and suddenly the trees uproot themselves and the flower beds plant themselves, and suddenly tin roofs fly through the air and land perfectly on houses and are in perfect order. And if you're used to chaos and death, then life and redemption will be disruptive. It will look like chaos.
It will. It will. It will. Yeah, I love this image of the altar image of not the chaos that comes. I'm just what's coming to my mind is thinking of when Jesus is casting out demons and the chaos that people see around him. But actually, what he's doing, he's restoring. It's an act of restoration. That
To
is
the devil, it feels like violence.
To the devil, it feels like violence. To those who are being brought in, it is restoration.